welcome to Perimeter and Area of Squares, Rectangles and Compound Shapes with Cube Education. In this lecture you will know what area and perimeter are, calculate the area and perimeter of squares and rectangles, and calculate the perimeter of composite shapes. So let's have a look at some definitions then first. So we have a length. Now the length is the measure of how long something is. So if we're going to measure a piece of string, we would measure how long it is, we would measure the length. The perimeter is the distance around a 2D shape. A 2D shape is just a flat shape, remember? So you could work out the perimeter of your living room, or you could just work out the perimeter of a square. And then we have area, which is the amount of shape inside a 2D shape, which is measured in centimetres squared. So as you can see, length and perimeter are both measured in centimetres or metres, but they could be measured in inches or feet, it doesn't matter. And they are just lengths. So even though a length is a length, a perimeter is technically a length as well, because you're just measuring the outside of something. Area, because it's inside, we are measuring it in centimetres or metres squared. Area is always squared, so don't forget to put that little 2 at the end. So first of all then, the perimeter is the total distance around the shape. So in this case, we would add all the sides up. The area is the amount of space inside the shape. So for area, we must do length times width. So perimeter, we just add all the sides. Area, we do length times width. Just one of each. We don't need all 4 sides, we just need one of each. Okay, people get confused with that and start multiplying all the sides. We just need this length by this width. So let's have a look at some examples. Find the perimeter and area of this rectangle. So first of all, the perimeter, well, we know that if this is 6 centimetres, then this must also be 6. And if this is 4, then this is 4. So we need to do 6 add 4, add 6, add 4, giving us a perimeter of 20 centimetres. Now the area, we just do length times width, which is just 6 times 4. 6 times 4 is 24 centimetres squared. Now in this next one, it says find the missing length of the rectangle when given the area. Well, if you look here, it's telling us the area of this shape, and it tells us one of the measurements. Well, to work out the area, we do length times width, so we would just multiply these two together. So instead, we need to find this, so we'll do the opposite, and we'll do 35 divided by 7. 35 divided by 7 is 5, which means this must have measured 5 millimetres. Okay, so why don't you pause the video and have a go at some of these questions then. Okay, if you pause the video and had a go, here's some of the answers then. So we have A, perimeter of 16, area is 15 centimetres squared. B, they have the same. C, 20 millimetres in perimeter and 16 millimetres squared. D is 11 metres and 6 metres squared. Question 2, find the missing lengths of these rectangles. Okay, so all you're doing here is dividing this number by the outside number to find out this measurement. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, 24 divided by 8 is 3, 36 divided by 6 is 6, and 5.5 divided by 5.5 is 1. And all of your answers will be in the same measurements as given here. Question 3, find the perimeter of these shapes. Okay, well, if this has given us the area, you need to think, what do I multiply 6 by? So 6 times something equals 24. Well, 6 times 4 is 24, but it wants the perimeter. So we need to do 6, add 4, add 6, add 4. So you should have got 20 for that. And then this one, 18 divided by 3 is 6, so that must have been 6 there. So 6 add 3, add 6, add 3, giving us 18 millimetres. And finally, a problem-solving question. Sarah wants to paint her wall as shown below. Each tin of paint costs £6 and covers 10 metres squared of the wall. How much will it cost to paint the wall? Okay, well, first of all, it's a little bit tricky, so you would do 4 times 7 to give you the area. Okay, so if you got £18, that's great. So 4 times 7 to give you the area, which is 28 metres squared. Okay, and then you would just divide that by 10, which would give you 2.8 tins. Okay, and which is 3 tins really, you can't have 2.8 tins, and 3 tins times £6 is £18. Okay, so let's have a look at some examples of composite shapes then. So find the perimeter and area of this shape. So first of all, to find the perimeter, we just need to fill in the missing numbers. So we've got here that this must be 4. It must be 4 because this whole thing here is 6. And from here to here, it measures 2 because it tells us here. So this rest here must be 4. And if this is 5, but from there to there is 3 because it tells us here, then that bit there must be 2. So now we can just add up all those sides. Okay. If you add up all those sides, you will then have the perimeter. To find the area, you want to split it into 2 shapes like this. So first of all, the perimeter, we've added them all together, giving us an answer of 22 centimetres. Okay. Then splitting them into 2 will help us with the area. So here we have 2 nice easy shapes now to work out the area of. And because I've split them up, it means I've got 2 rectangles. So one rectangle here, this nice long one, and this smaller rectangle here. It's easier to do it like that and work it out as 2 separate shapes than trying to work out the whole thing. So first of all, we'll do the area of A. The area of A is length of 6 times a width of 2, because we only want this bit. Okay, so 6 times 2 is 12. So A must be 12 centimetres squared. And the area of B is 3 times 2, which is 6 centimetres squared. So then we just need to add those 2 together, giving us a total area of 18 centimetres squared. Okay, so this one here, again, find the perimeter and area of the shape. So here we've labelled this outside shape A and this inside shape B. So the perimeter is just the outside of this shape here. It's not asking for anything difficult. So we're just going to do 6, add 10, add 6, add 10, giving us a perimeter of 22 centimetres. Now the area of the shape, we need to work out the area of A first, okay? And the area of A will be the whole thing, including this bit in the middle, because we need to get rid of this bit later. So if the first thing we're going to do is find the area of the whole thing, which is 6 times 10, giving us 60 centimetres squared. Then we will find the area of this cutout section, which is B. So we do 3 times 2, which gives us 6 centimetres squared. And finally, we're going to then subtract that measurement from this bigger one to just give us what is left on the outside. So you did 60, you would do 60, take away 6, which gives you 54 centimetres squared. Okay, I hope you understood those and I hope you got down your notes. Here are some examples for you to have a go at, so pause the video and have a go and press play for the answers. Okay, if you had a go, so A, we should have a perimeter of 28 and an area of 30 centimetres squared. For B, we should have a perimeter of 36 and an area of 56 metres squared. For question 2, find the perimeter and area. For A, we should have 36 centimetres for the perimeter and 40 centimetres squared for the area. B, you should have 44 centimetres for the perimeter and 77 centimetres squared for the area. And finally, here is a garden John needs to put grass seeds onto. Each packet of grass seeds costs £8.50 and covers 15 metres squared. How much will it cost John to plant grass seeds onto his garden? Okay, so you should have worked out that the area in total is 50 metres squared. If the area is 50 metres squared, you would then divide that by 15 to work out how many packets you need. Okay, and then times that by £8.50, which would give you £34. Okay, so I hope now that you know what area and perimeter are, I hope you can easily calculate the area and perimeter of squares and rectangles, and calculating the perimeter of composite shapes can be a little bit more tricky, so please go back and watch the video again if you need to, and have a go at the practice questions. So well done, and thank you so much for using Cubic Education. I will see you next time.